Welcome to TMZ Live. We have heard now for years about the controversy over women, transgender women in women's sports. We have heard about transgender women using women's bathrooms. This has been an issue in Washington, D.C. It was an issue at Gold's Gym in West Hollywood over the weekend, and it got explosive.
Yes, when Tish Hyman, singer Tish Hyman, had enough, and she let the people at Gold's know that she was very upset that she had gone into the locker room and seen male genitalia. This is just a little bit of Tish letting everyone at Gold's know what was going on, and then she's going to join us to talk about what the repercussions were for this.
Gold's Gym, men, grown men with big in the women's locker room. And that's why I'm getting kicked out. And I want to make sure the girls know. Everybody saw that man in the locker room. No one's saying. And I'm done with it. It's stupid. It's dangerous. Me naked in front of a man without my permission. I ain't the one who gets kicked out the gym, y'all. I'm terminated for not wanting men in the locker room.
So she has had her membership at Gold's revoked.
Yes, and before she left, she was able to confront the person that she saw in the locker room. So joining us now to talk about it is Tish Hyman. Tish, welcome to TMZ Live.
Hi guys, how you doing? I'm sorry I look a little afraid, but
You look great. Don't worry about it.
So why don't you just kind of lay out your position here? We want to hear.
About 4 weeks ago, the first encounter happened. I was naked. I was drying up and oiling up. I turned around and there's a man in the locker room. And so, of course, I'm shocked. I'm like, I thought maybe I missed the sign and that there were workers working. So I just said, sir. I didn't even get to say a sentence or anything. I just was in shock and figuring out that there's a man behind me while I'm naked. And I say, sir. And then he goes, you can't tell me nothing, B word, I'm a woman. And I'm like, what? Now, listen, guys, I don't have anything against anyone. So I was just in shock. I never been presented with this in my whole entire life. So I'm just in shock and I start screaming and asking for help. The people come into the locker rooms and they kind of escort him out, but not out of the gym, just out of the locker room so I could get dressed. And then I made a report and nothing was followed up on. And that was an experience that I couldn't even believe, and I had to understand this. So now I'm processing this, still trying to keep up with my life. I go back to the studio, I work. The next day I try to do my same routine, go to the gym. I say, maybe this is an isolated incident. The next day I go there and I run into this perpetrator, this predator, because I have to call it like it is, this guy. And I'm coming into the gym, so I'm just already traumatized from yesterday being naked. And now I'm seeing a whole nother dude that's bigger than the last dude in the room. So now I'm like, sir.
Hey, Tish, I'm sorry, I just want to make something clear, because this wasn't clear to me before we started talking to you. So there were two different people?
There are multiple people. There are multiple people. The reason why I spoke out like this, guys, is because I've had this experience with trans women in the women's locker room disrespecting me, not meeting me with any empathy, literally men who are crazy. And this happened like 6 to 7 times in the last 3 to 4 weeks. It hasn't been a month since the first time it happened.
So I'm not trying to be gratuitously graphic, but were the people that you saw in the locker room undressed? Were
they completely naked walking around?
No, let me be clear. I want to get into this to the details because it's important, the details. Now, were the men naked? No. They were men in men's clothing in the locker room. They don't need to be naked to be scary as hell. So let me get through to this because I need the people of the world to understand what's happening here. This happened 6 to 7 times in a 30-day period. Of course, I was fed up by the time y'all saw this. So the second time, this guy, I walk into him in the locker room and I say, "Sir, you just can't be in here like in this tone because I'm just like I can't believe I'm walking into this a day after this happened to me the first time." And he goes, "Bitch," excuse my language, because I think we're on TV, I'm sorry. He says, "B word, I'm a woman, get with it, get the out of the locker room if you don't like it." And I'm in shock. I'm like, are you kidding me? So now I'm like, all right, let me read the law. Because there's no way that there's no protection on women. I just couldn't believe it. And the more I went out there and started reading, I was like, oh snap, there is no protection for women. So now I'm like, okay, how do I combat this? Because these two first experiences happens at the Gold's Gym in Hollywood. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is some special location where they're like, I don't know. Let me go to the gym in Beverly Center that I've been paying overpriced for freaking 3 years, waiting for them to open it, and they finally opened it. Maybe this will be better. I go in the restroom and I have my beautiful day. The locker room you gotta understand, the girls in the locker room, we're not in there like communicating and all of that. We're just chilling. We're doing our things. If somebody's in the mirror lotioning up, another one's dancing, another one's going into the sauna. We're girls, guys. And I don't know what's your imagination, but we don't want men in there. It's scary. So here we are. I'm in the locker room.
Well, Tish, can I stop you for a second because I
Yes.
apologize for this because we're out of time.
Snap.
No,
Damn.
it's okay. I mean, I think you've laid out the story.
It's dangerous.
I just the one final thing, real quickly, is, and I think this is important, that these were not transgender women who were presenting as women; they were presenting to you as men. Is that right?
These were transgender women who said they were transgender women and told me that they were women. I'm not going to get into the who presented game over here.
Well, I think
I'm
it's
gonna get
important,
into
but
the reality.
I think that's important. You said they were obviously men.
They were men, and they were telling me they were trans women, and that's how they identified. And honestly, not all of them. The one I saw the last day that I worked at Gold's Gym, who saw my naked body the last day that they terminated my membership, came in there and said, "Lucky I ain't catch you outside." A black passing quote-unquote trans woman.
Okay.
All right. So your membership has been revoked. And
we need to cancel gym memberships all around America because there's no protection for women's safety. If you stand up for women, if you have a daughter, you have a sister, there were girls in there who were traumatized, and they're thanking me for being there. And I didn't do this for any attention or anything. I did this because I was genuinely scared that no one was going to be there to warn the girls. There are no signs in there to tell the girls, hey, there are men in here. No one cares.
We got it.
Where are the bathrooms? Gold's just built that gym in Beverly Center. Why didn't they put a trans restroom in there if they care so much? Huh?
The fair point.
No one cares about women.
Get the
Fair
point.
Corporate
Tish, thank
America.
you. Thank you very much. We so
Thank you,
appreciate you
gentlemen.
coming on.
I appreciate you, Harvey. Thank you so much for sharing the story, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tish.
well, joining us now is one of the people that that Tish says she confronted in the locker room. Her name is Alexis Black, and she's joining us now. Alexis, welcome to TMZ Live.
Hi.
Hey, Alexis. So we spoke with Tish, and she said when she came face to face with you, it was obvious to her you were a man. So, I don't want to get terribly graphic here, but can you kind of explain, how you appeared? Do you believe that she was reading something in that you didn't appear to be male? She perceived you to be such.
Well, first, I told the people that raised me that this is the way that I was when I was 8 years old. And really, I stuffed it down pretty deep. And I began using hormones this year in February. And I actually relinquished that information to her about, name change. And it says female on my ID and hormones. And I mean, I'm registered as a female with the gym. So.
And were you at that moment, because she told us about a couple of different encounters, were you fully clothed at that moment?
Well, she has become aggressive with me on 4 different occasions, actually at different locations in Los Angeles at Gold's Gym. But fully clothed. I believe I was enrobed in a towel on one occasion, and this last time I was clothed the entire time. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I apologize if this is too graphic, but I just think it's important. Have you?
Let's speak truth, baby.
Okay. Have you fully transitioned?
Be clearer when you say that.
Your genitalia.
That is a process that requires a quite lengthy work. Like, for instance, I sat in a chair and had hair follicles removed from my face for 2 hours yesterday in a process called electrolysis. In order to have that surgery down there, one must have every single hair done that. In order to do that, it would take would just say like a year or two to have that done. That's literally not even a possibility with where I am in my transition.
So look, from her perspective, I'm just wondering if you see her perspective. She's
Go
saying
ahead.
that she's looking at you, say, in a towel, and you still
she's
have
seeing
male
male genitalia.
genitalia, and you may be transitioning, but could you understand her being uncomfortable?
Well, I certainly do not understand it, but I do get the notion of the fear mongering that she's perpetuating. The truth in the moment is far from what she is purporting it to be. Literally every time that she's done that, I've had women in the locker room comforting me because of how aggressive she was towards me.
So she was saying, why don't they have a third bathroom? Especially the gym you're talking about at the Beverly Center. That's been recently built.
You are right.
They had a layout that they could have adjusted, and they could have put a third locker room in. Do you think that would have been appropriate, or do you feel like you are entitled to use the women's locker room just as Tish is?
That's a great question. I'm glad that she said it, that you have put it on the air. And the answer is that would necessitate 2 different ones, because some people trans MTF, some people go FTM. And so that's 2 rooms right there. You're not going to put a trans woman with a trans man just because we're trans. That seems like a whole new envelope of discrimination. But yeah, it's just like, I feel like this had to happen in order for people to learn about trans. It's like it's a thing. We're here. We're going anywhere. We've been here for thousands of years. There's like 10 species of animals on Earth that do this too. Just by the way, everybody. And but about the bathroom, am I entitled to it? I know that I'm a woman. Should they have built another one to necessitate building this room? People would have to have the level of comfortability within themselves that I do. Not everyone possesses this much feminine power. It doesn't happen. Not in this patriarchal system of which we've been living for so long.
Okay.
All right. Alexis, we appreciate you joining us. This is clearly going to be something that Gold's is going to have to
Well,
deal with.
a lot of gyms.
And a lot of gyms, yes.
Thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I've been kicked out of Planet Fitness and Crunch.
Okay.
Okay.
Coming up.
Big news on the Diddy front. Diddy is telling other inmates at Fort Dix, the prison where he is now serving his sentence, telling them that he is going to be pardoned by Donald Trump early next year.
Be right back.
Big news on the Diddy front. Diddy is telling other inmates at Fort Dix, the prison where he is now serving his sentence, telling them that he is going to be pardoned by Donald Trump early next year. We know this based on sources
Some sources
who
at
are
the prison.
at Fort Dix. And he is telling people that, and we can't say how we know, but on the outside, we have confirmed that's true, that he is telling people that,
So this
is a
not-
real thing.
So this is not just him trying to buddy up to people in the yard. He's saying this based on information that he is getting.
Yep.
That it's still on the table.
So we told you that literally the day after he was sentenced, somebody from his legal team contacted somebody who has President Trump's ear, somebody in the White House, asking for a pardon. The next day, Donald Trump was informed about this, and then a day or two later, he told the news media that. We then posted a story that Trump was vacillating on whether to do it or not. There were people in the White House who were urging him not to, but as one of the White House sources told us, he's going to do what he wants to do. And now it looks like when you connect the dots, it sounds like this is a real thing. I mean, if I had to bet money at this point,
Right. You don't-
my bet is Donald Trump's going to pardon
And if
Diddy.
you're Diddy and you're at Fort Dix, you don't go around saying that unless you have some reason, because you're gonna look stupid, right? You're gonna be there for 2 years. You're you're just meeting these inmates. They probably think you're full of it anyway, right? So you won't say it unless you have actual information.
Yeah, my source in the prison also said that not only is he saying he's going to be pardoned early January, but he's promising these guys that he's going to protect them and help them once he's on the outside.
How protect him? How?
Not sure. Maybe the same way Kim helped prisoners get them out early, help commute their sentence, whatever he can do. But he says he's going to look out for them on the outside.
So I just want to say, and again, I wish I could be more transparent here, but Diddy saying it is one thing. From what I'm hearing on the outside, this is not just a real possibility, but it's feeling like, honestly, it's feeling like a probability.
Well, we said that even though it hadn't happened at this point, that means nothing because the president holds that card and knows that he can play it whenever he wants, whenever it best suits him. I would doubt that he's looking at this from a standpoint of what's best for Diddy. He's looking at it when it's best for him.
Of course.
Right.
Oh, of course.
So he can play it at any point, and maybe he's got a plan. Well, he's always got a plan.
Based on everything we know, my money is on Diddy will be a free man by March.
What's interesting,
and honestly, based on a phone call that I made a few minutes ago, maybe much sooner.
Hey, it's Marie from Bellingham, Washington. I don't think anybody should count their chickens before they're hatched. You know, it's rather unfortunate, but President Trump seems to flip-flop back and forth depending on which way the wind is blowing. So I think Diddy better just hang on.
Yeah.
That is also true. I mean, like, if you're
true.
Diddy, like, yes, you can be confident.
But here's the difference.
you're-
Here's the difference. You're right that the wind can blow both ways, but Donald Trump is kind of an impulsive guy. When it blows Diddy's way, he may pull the trigger
acts,
and then
right.
just act.
Right.
And that's what I think is going to happen here. Excuses meet Kim Kardashian. Kim, meet excuses.
It is possible that she is putting a big excuse out there for the possibility she ends up failing the bar exam, even though last week she was very confident.
So she could blame it on the fact that she didn't go to law school. Or she could blame it on the fact that maybe she doesn't take tests well. She had problems with the baby bar, although she did pass it. But she's not blaming them.
No, the possible excuse is ChatGPT. And the reason we found out about this was a lie detector test. She was taking a polygraph with Tiana Taylor. Basically, this is something they did with Vanity Fair. It's promotion for All's Fair, their new series on Hulu. So Tiana asked her something about ChatGPT and Kim's relationship with ChatGPT, and this is what she revealed.
Use it for legal advice. So when I am needing to know the answer to a question, I'll take a picture and snap it and like put it in there.
So you're cheating?
They're always wrong. It has made me fail tests.
Are you serious?
All the time. Then I will talk to it and say, hey, you're gonna make me fail. How does that make you feel? That you need to really know these answers. I'm coming to you. Right. And then it'll say back to me, this is just teaching you to trust your own instincts. You knew the answer all along.
So she clocked you. So
me.
technically, you and Chat GPT are friends, just toxic friends.
Toxic
Sounds like
friends,
a toxic
but they need to
relationship.
do better because I'm leaning to them to really help me. And she is teaching me a life lesson and then becoming my therapist to tell me why I need to believe in myself.
So I want to say something that,
by the way,
I can deconstruct this because, look, she is saying that what you have to do is trust your instincts because your instincts are always right.
Well, that's what ChatGPT told her.
Right. Not the case. No, she's saying, no, I don't think that's right.
She's saying that ChatGPT told me, she was chewing out ChatGPT for getting the answer wrong, and ChatGPT responded, look, this is just to teach you that you should follow your instinct. You knew the answer all along. Don't ask me.
She didn't. No, that's fortune cookie advice. That's not true, that your instincts will always guide you. Sometimes they will. But there are courses that you take to pass the bar exam, and it's not just asking a random question to ChatGPT.
Yeah, and this does not work for the bar exam. We
It
can
does
say
not.
this full-throatedly. We have both passed the bar exam. Charles, you listen along. But what happened is you need to study the bar in this closed universe of bar exam materials, and you learn to sort of pass it. By going to ChatGPT, what she's setting up, to me, is very, very clear. She's setting up an excuse for not passing the bar because she went on Graham Norton and said and announced that she passed the bar, and that it's only a matter of time before she hears the results.
Never say that.
Pride goeth before the fall. I mean, that is the most famous sort of expression.
No. The difference between the two of us is he is actually hoping she flunks. I'm hoping she passes. I'm really rooting for Kim.
I'm also just predicting she flunks. It's a very difficult bar exam, and I do think it will diminish our profession if she passes on the first try.
You're setting yourself up for humiliation.
It's so funny, you talking about her diminishing your profession. You, of
This is
all
fair.
people.
Yeah, but it's ChatGPT is not the way to study for the bar exam. It's not. And I tried it in the office today, and it gave me
Right.
Well, that happens to be something they would ask in the bar
I get
exam.
it the way you were. Anyway, I agree. I'm not saying that.
It gave good answers for
ChatGPT
essays,
is
but
a
not
good
for
way to
multiple
go.
choice questions, where it's like, it depends, and you can
Just
fudge
so
your
you
way
know,
through
The question
it.
that I asked was an essay question, and it screwed it up.
Yeah, it depends. It was washing it.
Just so you know, if you think that Kim was just saying all this stuff to sort of be funny and to promote the TV show, at the end of all of that, they asked the polygraph examiner, and they said, is she being truthful about it? And she said, yes. Everything she said about ChatGPT is
Then she deserves what she gets if she used it as a study aid. I'm sorry.
On Friday, 6 o'clock Pacific time, she is going to find out whether she passed or not.
It's not publicly listed until Monday.
Are we going to put balloons in the rafters for me?
What if she passes? What if
she passes? Then what do you get?
Then we leave the balloons up.
What do you get if she passes?
No, the balloons come down if she passes.
Coming up.
President Trump's social media team has been very active. Pretty obviously, the White House is trying to draw one Taylor Swift into a public dispute.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
BB Rexa was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too.
Did you just say, look at the water? I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at.
TMZ.
President Trump's social media team has been very active. Not only did they post a video with Nicki Minaj's song, the mashup, Bees in the Trap, the mashup with
Trump and
what's going on.
Nicki seem...
Yes,
Hi.
and Nicki responded to that one. She said, this is incredible, so she's into that. Now, this is the really interesting one where pretty obviously the White House is trying to draw one Taylor Swift into a public dispute because...
That would be their dream.
Check out this TikTok video, which is scored with the fate of Ophelia.
The question is, will she bite? And the answer is no. She
You
will
don't
not
think
bite.
she's not gonna say anything?
She will not bite on this.
So he doesn't have the right to.
This is village people territory.
I know he doesn't have the right to use this though, right? Because she's not licensing through TikTok. So he just grabbed the song.
So what do you think
and
she's
put it
gonna
on
do?
the thing? I think it'd be good for her to send him a
Hold
takedown
on.
notice.
But
Like,
hold on.
don't
Can
use my
she-
stuff.
Can she do that? Because if she makes the argument with the president that he can't use it, doesn't that argument apply to everyone else who uses it on
She-
TikTok?
no, she can go
pick
after-
and choose.
She can pick and choose?
She can
Goes
totally
after.
pick and choose. But what is she going to do? So she says, "I'm going to send you a takedown demand," and they say pound sand.
Yeah.
So what you going to do? Sue
Go to court, $150,000 statutory damages,
No, I know.
copyright infringement.
Do
I
you-
like it.
I mean,
No, I don't think she'll do
No,
anything,
but
but
the
she
interesting
could.
thing about that is she sues Donald Trump. He's suing everybody else.
Yeah.
So this is.
So it's
her-
interesting. In a hypothetical world where he has a song.
Although he has criminal immunity. He doesn't have civil immunity.
No, he doesn't have civil immunity. He's been sued. But so imagine a situation where he had a song, hypothetical situation, and Taylor Swift were to use that in his social media, he would definitely sue her. Right? That's what he does.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking, if
it plays into his
No,
hands,
no.
though.
I'm thinking of something else. If Donald Trump gets sued, could he go back to the Supreme Court and say, I should also have immunity from civil lawsuits because you shouldn't be able to drag me in for what I do? And he would say this is part of
he
it.
hasn't done that in the past. He got sued a few times during the first administration. He was able to put it off,
Right.
Because he's got.
So
the
there's
duties of
never
the
been a
presidency.
precedent on this.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been decided on whether or not
Doesn't
he
he
has.
just say? Doesn't he say like, I have no idea? You think I know what the social media team is cutting and post? Like he didn't.
Oh,
edit
he doesn't
this.
want to say that because
Yeah,
this
he
is
doesn't want to say
discovery
that.
of
Yeah, he does not want to say that. But that is really interesting. Your move, Taylor Swift.
Hey, SB from Santa Monica here. The White House has been using a lot of these trending sounds in order to appeal to a younger audience by any means necessary except for their policies. I don't foresee a world where Taylor Swift doesn't ask them to take it down, but I think she should let him keep it up because actually the fate of Ophelia is a reference to the Shakespeare play Hamlet. And in that play, Ophelia in the end ends up going absolutely crazy. So it makes a lot of sense for Donald Trump.
Yeah,
So, I don't
but
know that the
how-
average user is going to get
Yeah,
that deep into it.
Your
By the
way.
way, it does help Taylor in one way. We know that when the president posts these things, the White House posts it, gets millions and millions of views.
It's going to keep her number one.
That helps her song on the charts. So in a way, he's actually helping her.
Yeah, I don't know that she's. I'm dying to know. This is fascinating.
Coming up.
What do we do with Congress?
The government has been shut down longer than it ever has been before. Either figure it out, or we should just vote against every single member of Congress.
And we're saying to Mike Johnson and Republicans, get the hell back in town.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live, and it is Election Day, and that is all the more reason to talk about something we have been talking about, and that is what do we do with Congress? And the fact that they have not found a solution, they have not compromised to open up the government again. Barring any last-second heroics, it is now going to be a record long government shutdown.
Today is the record. So
Right.
the government has been shut down longer than it ever has been before. So the question, who's going to give, if anyone, and will it take a calamity, which seems like it's in the making, for that to happen?
Meaning safety, because we have critical government workers like air traffic controllers who either are calling out sick or are going to work exhausted because they have to work 2-3 jobs to make ends meet now because they're not getting paid.
As they say, it seems only a matter of time unless something happens in Congress. So let's bring in one of the leaders of the...
right in the middle of all of it.
Yep.
Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, the House Minority Leader, and he is joining us right now. Congressman, welcome back to TMZ Live.
Thanks for having me on.
So I want to talk to you about something that we have been discussing now for 3 weeks. That, you know, the Democrats, and you have been strong on this, have been blaming the Republicans because they're not negotiating health care in good faith. The Republicans have blamed the Democrats because they could open the government but refused to give the votes to open it. So there has been a deadlock. We have started a movement here that at a point, the baseline expectation that the public should have is that Congress should be able to compromise as a body and at the very least keep the government open. They have been unable to do it. And to me, it's a deal breaker. We've started a movement, and excuse the language, it's called OWTA, out with their asses, to vote everyone out in the primary and not worry that, oh, I like somebody because I like his views. Views won't matter if the government isn't open. And it seems like you as a body are not suited to run the government because you guys are in loggerheads. So what do you say to that?
Well, listen, first of all, let's be clear that Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. And so that's the baseline that we're starting from. Now, as Democrats, we've said from the very beginning, we want to sit down and have a bipartisan discussion about enacting a spending bill that actually makes life better for the American people. We've said we got to reopen the government, certainly. This is a calamity, 35 days. And the president has been missing in action, unfortunately. He spent more time over these last 45 days on the golf course than he has in talking to Democrats who represent half the country on Capitol Hill. We just want to sit down, exercise common sense to find common ground with the other side of the aisle in order to promote the common good for the American people.
So, Congressman, it is very clear that you obviously know exactly what the issues are and what the pressure points are for Americans, and I've heard you speaking about that for a month now. I've heard Republicans speaking about them, and both sides seem to acknowledge what they are. I guess, with all due respect, none of you are doing your jobs because you keep saying it to the media. You're all doing interviews like this and talking about it, but nobody in Washington is talking about those pressure points to each other, and that's what started this movement where we said, well, if none of them are going to talk to each other and figure this out, then they've all got to go. And
well, respectfully, let me say that we are absolutely doing our jobs. We're here in Washington, D.C. And how is it the case that House Republicans, my colleagues, Mike Johnson, has actually canceled votes for 6 consecutive weeks? House Republicans have been on a taxpayer-funded vacation. We've been showing up here on Capitol Hill because we want to find a resolution that reopens the government. But literally, these people got out of town 6 weeks ago, can't be found, and are spread out throughout the country. They're not even holding town hall meetings in their district. They're not doing their jobs.
This is not the first rodeo for Congress. There have been huge issues facing Congress over the years, civil rights, all sorts of things, and yet they've been able to keep the government open. So this is not a one-off in the sense that, oh, it's just so fundamentally different. And our point is that you guys should be able to do what your predecessors over more than 200 years were always able to do. And if you can't, the only power we as a people have is to vote all of you out. I say that respectfully to you. You have a long, great history, but we're kind of sick of it.
No, listen, I understand the frustration that you are articulating, and the American people are understandably frustrated about this government shutdown. Our view is that this has to be figured out. The problem, I believe, sincerely believe this, is that my Republican colleagues have adopted a my way or the highway approach. That's the exact opposite, Harvey, of what you're suggesting we do here, because we do need to sit down, find common ground, and make a decision to actually reopen the government, to enact a spending bill that makes life better for the American people, and to address the issues that matter on the economy, on inflation, on the cost of living, on our broken healthcare system that needs to be fixed. This is the wealthiest country in the history of the world. It should not be the case that you have millions of Americans who are unable to afford to go see a doctor when they or their children or their family members need one. We're saying to Mike Johnson and Republicans, get the hell back in town so that we can actually reopen the government and solve problems on behalf of the American people. Now, in terms of, listen, the threat to primary people all across the Congress, this is a democracy, and at the end of the day, this wonderful exercise in self-government it does fall to the people. And our view in the House is that we don't own any of these seats. In fact, in the House, we're on a 2-year employment contract, which means every 2 years, the Constitution says you got to go back to the people and make your case as to why you should be reelected. I'm going to do the best job that I can to make my case to the American people, but certainly it is the right of every single person in this great country to draw a conclusion that they want to go in a different direction, whatever that means in a given congressional district, in a governor's race, in a Senate race, or certainly eventually in 2028 in terms of the presidency.
All right. Well, I will agree with you on this, Congressman, that if anyone has taken the it's my way or the highway approach, that is not going to get it done. So we certainly hope for the sake of the American people that changes and that you guys can get the government open.
Appreciate the time.
Appreciate you both.
All right.
Thanks again.
Thanks.
Coming up.
Tom Brady is ready to welcome a new dog into his life. His dog Lua, a pit bull mix, died back in 2023, but he has, through the miracle of science, cloned Lua.
Be right back.
Tom Brady is ready to welcome a new dog into his life. His dog Lua, a pit bull mix, died back in 2023, but he has, through the miracle of science, cloned Lua, and the clone has arrived. Now, we should say the company that did this cloning, Tom actually is an investor in the company.
Wrinkle.
But you can tell from what he posted.
Sharpay wrinkle.
I don't think, yes, sure, he may be making money from this, but I think also he's just happy to have, a clone of Lua in his life. I always think this is strange. I can't decide whether I would want to do this or not.
Well, here's the problem. My thing is I rescue dogs. And so I've had, almost all my dogs have been rescues. And the idea of cloning a dog
is not rescued.
It's not rescuing a dog. And there's something.
It's actually the ultimate breed.
It really is. And there's something so satisfying about saving a dog that, I mean, it's just such a satisfying thing that I wouldn't do it. And I love my dogs. And I also wouldn't want to choose one that way. But at the same time, better that at least he's doing something with a mutt than just.
So who's
it's too Aryan if it were pure.
What's the new dog's name?
Junie is the new one.
Okay.
Junie, right.
About 6 months after Lua passed away is when Junie came onto the scene, and everyone's like, wow, you got essentially
6 months?
About 6 months.
So he's had this dog all along.
About 2 years ago, he got
So
Junie.
what's the new thing?
Yeah.
He just revealed that
The investment.
that it's a clone. No one knew that it was a clone.
No, I know what the new thing is.
So he's had this dog,
Yeah, no,
but
no, no.
nobody knew that.
No, but here's the
Junie
thing.
was a clone.
We saw the dog, but now he's probably invested, and now all of a sudden it's a business. So that's probably why.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hey, it's Buck here in Nashville. God, I love this story. I love animals, and a lot of people get through so many difficult times with their animals. And I bet you Tom might have been going through a pretty hard time and had the dog, and the dog meant so much to him. And that, he's got the money, so he can definitely do something like this. But it's probably, a business venture as well. So I think if I had the money, I might do it too. I lost my cat last year, and that cat helped me get through like a bunch of stuff. And I think I might do it if I had the money.
See this? You can't judge a book by a cover. I look at Buck. Would you think Buck is a cat?
I would not.
A cat guy?
Buck has a Great Dane.
Yeah, that's exact. Buck doesn't seem like cat energy.
Nope.
But see, you can't tell.
There you go.
Coming up.
Well, with Jake Paul's fight against Gervonta Davis now off, Jake's looking for someone new to step into the ring with him, and TMZ Sports may have inadvertently found him a new competitor in one Francis Ngannou.
I mean, don't disrespect me like that.
Be right back.
Well, with Jake Paul's fight against Gervonta Davis now off because of the abusive allegations against Tank, Jake's looking for someone new to step into the ring with him, and we, TMZ Sports, may have inadvertently found him a new competitor in one Francis Ngannou. So we did an interview with Francis asking him if he would be interested. Listen to how he responded, because I think the way he said this is why Jake Paul is now very interested.
How can they go from like Gervonta Davis to Francis Ngannou? Like, I mean, Gervonta Davis is a fantastic boxer, but and is a one-shot knockout artist. But come on, like the way different and everything, it make no sense. So we think about you to fight Jake to replace Gervonta. I'm like, who's Jake? You know, like. I was so confused, you know, like I wasn't expecting that at all. And he said, yeah, Jake Paul, you know, he's fighting. And I'm like, no, bro, come on. Don't, I mean, don't disrespect me like that.
So that's,
I would love to be disrespected like that. I mean,
no, bro.
Why
Don't
is
disrespect me like that.
why is Jake Paul interested if this guy's saying forget it?
Because he just said that, he basically said forget it because he is way below me. There's no that's it's the way he said that.
But literally,
makes no sense to me.
The guy he was going to fight was like 5'6", 5'7".
Right, Tank Davis, yes.
And
Francis is a foot taller.
Francis is 6'4".
Yeah, 6'4", 6'5", 260 pounds, and he's just looked like he was carved out of marble. I don't understand. Francis Ngannou could make 25, 30 million, maybe even more money for this. Why not go out there and if it's so easy, kick Jake Paul's ass?
Because he's negotiating the cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's negotiating.
There may be something to that because Jake saw what Francis said, and his response was, "Dear Francis, just say you already got humiliated in boxing and are scared to lose to Jake Paul. I accept that. You are light work, my friend, stuck in mud."
So he's angling for a better cut.
I think it seems to me like they're both doing a little fight promotion here.
Yeah.
And
well, it's
my
working.
bet would be that Francis is going to end up in the ring.
Hi, Harvey and Chip. It's Gabriela from California. The boxing world just took another L. Every time they try to clean up their image, something like this happens. I call this a TKO, courtesy of bad timing and worse judgment.
I mean, arguably, it's a better fight than Tank versus Jake.
Arguably it is. This is a real fight. I think this would do really, really well.
Coming up.
The TMZ Celebrity Tour.
Oh, gee.
Still getting it done because yesterday, we had a music video shot on the bus. Meghan Trainor was out shooting a music video, and I guess the director decided, you know what would be cool? Let's get a shot
on the bus.
On the bus.
Be right back.
Now, deservedly, we talk a lot about the TMZ After Dark tour because it's the best party every weekend in Hollywood.
And the brunch bus on Sunday.
And the brunch bus. But the TMZ Celebrity Tour,
OG.
The OG still getting it done because yesterday we had a music video shot on the bus.
This is, by the way, the TMZ Celebrity Tour, which rolls 7 days a week during the daytime.
Meghan Trainor was out there shooting a music video, and I guess the director decided, you know what would be cool? Let's get a shot
on the bus.
On the bus.
Under the bus? Yeah.
Sing for me, sing.
By the way, there was someone on the bus who was celebrating a birthday, and that's why Meghan got on. So see, you can celebrate your birthday, you know, available for charters. Available for charters.
Best deal in town. See you tomorrow.